I'm Megan, I'm 31 and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I came to Medjugorje with my mother. I got diagnosed with cancer when I was 24, so that took a huge toll on my life physically and mentally. It at first just beat me down quite a bit. I lost some faith.
Empty-handed, but not forsaken. I've been saved.
My mom brought me home Mariana's book, My Heart Will Triumph, and it changed my life completely. I got some news about 7 months ago, and my doctor told me that I probably have 6 months to a year. And then my mom she was like, you know, we should go. We were in the circle to where Mariana was gonna come. I was sitting on the bench at first, and when Mariana walked up, she grabbed my arm and she kissed my cheek, and she says, "Can you kneel?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, yes, I can." And she says, "Come with me, and you know, be next to me." I said, "Oh my gosh, okay." When she kneeled down, she, you know, was kind of just taking breaths in and out. She started to tremble, her whole body, leading up to the apparition. When Mary came, her entire face changes into bliss. I mean, she looks like an angel. She describes Mary in her book. I can only imagine how beautiful it is. I ask for healing, of course, but I also say to God and to Mary, if it's your will. I just tried to pray the whole time for everyone that was there, because I know everyone there is, you know, they need blessings, they need help for the same reasons I'm here, you know. I was also praying for Mariana because I know that she has pain before and after her apparitions, and then I know that she feels so sad when Mary leaves her. We're all scared a little bit of dying because we don't know. I think I do know, and I wish that everyone could have that feeling. To know. And that's what God has given me. And that's what I hope that each person would find. I'm Megan, I'm 31 and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I used to work as a makeup artist. I enjoy just making people feel good about themselves. Ever since I was a child, I would do makeovers and can I cut your hair? And can I dye your hair? And I just like to give people that experience of just like feeling like their best self. I love to cook. I love my dogs. So I actually have a hairless Chinese crested. She only has hair on her head and her feet. She's just adorable. And then I rescued Jack and Jill. They're One's a half Chinese crested and a terrier mix, so they were kind of like my angels throughout this whole time because they were rescue dogs, but they're truly just the best dogs. And they have been my therapy dogs for sure. They're extremely sweet and they just take care of me. I grew up in the Catholic Church from the time I was very young. As I got older, I've kind of fell out of that when I didn't live with my parents anymore. But I always prayed and I was always very faithful. I got diagnosed with cancer when I was 24. So that took a huge toll on my life physically and mentally. It at first just beat me down quite a bit and I lost some faith for a while. I didn't understand why this was happening to me and I didn't know just how to proceed with life. I have osteosarcoma. I still have it now. It's a bone cancer. So we found it when I was 24 and I did about 14 months of chemo. And after that, I've had 2 surgeries at that time. I have a titanium rod in my leg from my knee all the way to my hip. And I've had 3 thoracotomies for sections in my lung. I spent a few years in remission, and as I was in remission, I decided to move to Seattle just to kind of start my life over and just give myself a new start. And I was there for about 9 months, and my cancer actually came back in my arm while I was there. So I moved back home about a year and a half ago, and I actually had the exact same thing on my arm that I did with my leg. So I have a titanium rod in my arm from my elbow to my shoulder. So it brought a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles, a lot of sadness, depression, anger. But it also changed my outlook on life. When I was able to find my faith again, I realized that everything that happened to me was for a reason. And it made me just a better, stronger woman. I've learned to kind of accept my illness, and with God helping me, everything is so much better. I had to learn how to walk again. I was extremely, extremely sick for a long time because of the chemo. I was down to about 86 pounds at one time, and I didn't know if I would come back from that or not. Those were probably the hardest times. But the mental toll that it takes on you is just trying to wake up every day not knowing the future. It's extremely difficult. My cancer is a pediatric cancer. So typically you're diagnosed between 6 and 18. So I was diagnosed much later at 24. And it was in its later stages already because I'd probably had it for about a year and a half before we even found it and had spread to multiple places. So I was doing very aggressive treatment. And while I was doing that, I met 2 younger children that I was doing chemo with. One was about 14 and the other was about 11 at the time. And they were both going through chemo and extremely aggressive chemo, same types as me, but they were young and they were innocent and they were just barely into their lives, and they were so strong, and it really gave me the strength to be able to do it, because I looked at them and they were still able to smile every day. They were happy and they were loving and they were caring, and I realized that I had spent so much time being angry when these are children. I had a lot of my life that I had lived 24 years, and a lot of people don't get that. So I became just grateful at that point just for every day that I got to live. just the strongest person that I've ever met in my life. And she has been so incredible through everything that I've gone through. She never left my side for 1 second. When I was in the hospital, she slept on it wasn't even a bed, it was a tiny fold-out chair in my hospital room for 14 months. And if I would have a visitor that wanted to come spend the night, I would have to push. I would say, Mom, just go home and sleep at home for one night, get a good night's rest. She hated it. She didn't want to be away from me, even though I'm sure it was just miserable. My mom has the strongest faith of anyone that I know, and it's only gotten deeper and deeper within the past few years. Her faith is unwavering, and she's always just told me that I was going to be okay no matter what. She's probably only broken down and cried to me maybe 3 times. And I used to actually get upset because they say, how do you not cry? I'm so upset and this is happening to me. And I know why she doesn't, because she doesn't show me fear. She shows me strength, and I learned that from her. I came to Medjugorje with my mother. It's her 2nd time here. She came about a year ago. She loved it so much here, she wanted to take me back with her. And we're also with our friend Denise and Father Anthony, who's our priest in our parish. And he became just such a spiritual mentor for me, and really helped me find my faith again. He just has a beautiful heart. He does have a healing spirit, a healing touch, and his soul is just great, and he's helped me so much. My mom brought me home Mariana's book, My Heart Will Triumph, and it changed my life. It helped me even regain my faith further. It just helped me believe. And then my mom she was like, we should go. When her and my dad came, they loved Mariana. They fell in love with her right away. My dad was in the kitchen with her cooking, and they just had a special bond. And they talked about how amazing she was. So I wanted to meet her, of course. There's been a couple days where I'm not always full of energy, of course, with the cancer in my lungs now. It's a little tough sometimes. My mom asked if I wanted her to bring me up some food. I said, of course. So she had went to Mariana and said, my daughter, she's not feeling well, and I'm just gonna bring her up some food. And then Mariana started questioning, what's wrong with her? Why doesn't she feel good? Just asking, and my mom, of course, told her. And Mariana insisted on bringing my food to my room, which was just so sweet. And she brought me some fruit and she brought tons of stuff for me. Cheeses and bread. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. So we really didn't talk too much because she had to go back down and finish lunch service. It's not even like a starstruck thing. It's just like oh my gosh, I've been reading this woman's book, and I see her, online, and I see her in these apparitions, and now she's in front of me. And she's just so blessed, and her presence was just so amazing. She really is like an angel. It's just like a beautiful, calming presence that she has. Father Anthony, actually, he was the one that really, along with my mom, really wanted me to come here. He approached her to ask about me possibly being around her through the apparition, which I never in my wildest dreams thought that would come true. She said actually that she was already thinking of that and wanted me to go with her. So they told me that I was going to go with her, and I was just like flabbergasted, of course. And this morning when we went, we were in the circle to where Mariana was going to come. And when Mariana walked up, she grabbed my arm and she kissed my cheek. And she says, can you kneel? And I said, yes, ma'am, yes, I can. And she says, come with me, and be next to me. said, oh my gosh, okay. So it was incredible. It was intense. It was calming. It was beautiful. It's almost like a daze kind of, because it's like I didn't know how long we were there or really what even was going on when it was happening. But I felt presence, and I felt peace, and I felt just beauty, and I just tried to pray the whole time for everyone that was there, because I know everyone there is, they need blessings, they need help for the same reasons I'm here, And of course, they say that no one comes to Medjugorje by accident. Our Lady wants us to be here for a reason. So I was just praying that everyone would receive their blessings, and I stayed up last night and wrote about 5 pages of prayers. I actually asked all my friends, I said, how can I pray for you? What can I do? So I went through I read all of my things before the apparition started so that I would have them fresh in my head, and I was just I was also praying for Mariana, because I know that she has pain before and after her apparitions, and then I know that she feels so sad when Mary leaves her. So I was also just praying that she'll be okay, and that the hole in her heart when she leaves would, lessen. From what I witnessed, when she kneeled down, she, was kind of just taking breaths in and out. And then she started to tremble, her whole body. I could see it. And I think that might be leading up to the apparition. When Mary came, you just see the look on her face, and her entire face changes into, I don't know, it's just bliss, I guess you would say. She looks like an angel when she sees her. It's just beautiful to witness. And I, of course, wonder what she's seeing. She describes Mary in her book, and it's probably one of the most beautiful things that I've seen, or read, should I say. I can only imagine how beautiful it is. When I left the apparition, I was walking back. Something said, just look up in the sky one more time. The sun was, it was flashing, and it was actually it seemed like it was changing colors. It's orange and pink, and I was wow, am I going crazy? I've been sitting here for a long time. I know, am I tripping? I kept seeing this round circle just everywhere that it would follow my eyes, just a big round circle. I was this is weird. Did I blind myself? Why am I seeing this? And then I started putting it all together. And then Miss Sunni said, and yes, I see the host in it as well, the Eucharist. And I said, what is that? What does that look like to you? She said, it's just, it's a round circle. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, I was seeing that. That is what I was seeing. It wasn't a flash from the sun. It was a perfect circle. And once I said that, my mom says, oh my gosh, you saw the miracle of the sun. It just, something told me to look up. And yeah, so I witnessed the miracle of the sun today. It's the first time that's ever happened to me. It's pretty beautiful. I climbed Apparition Hill, and with my surgery on my leg, I don't do a lot of physical activity at all. It's actually almost impossible. I tell myself that I can. I believe that I can. But this I knew was going to be a little different, because I was this is reality. This is a big hill. This is rocks, and I just might not be able to do that. But the day that we decided to go, I said, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it the best shot. If I go, halfway and I can't, then I can't. But at least I tried. But my mom said, I know you can do it. You're going to be fine. It's going to be great. So I did great. I walked up it rather quickly. I took a few breaks on the way up, but it's pretty amazing because I can't really do things like that ever. But I knew that I was going to be getting help, and I did. I prayed about it before, and I said, you know, I would love to be up there. God, just help me out. Get me up there. And I was winded, and, you know, next day I was tired, and I was in bed for a little bit, but I made it up there, and it was beautiful. Just, there's people singing, and there's people praying, and it's like no other place. You can't see this kind of stuff. It's just like, where does this even happen? You know, it's just, people come here for a reason. It is just beautiful. It's mind-blowing. You don't see this anywhere else. I think that anyone can come here and find what they're looking for. It's beautiful, and you can just tell that God's hands are here. And I think it's a place of hope. It's a place that you can come for someone like me who needs a lot of hope, and that's what it can offer you here. It's so unified here because everyone's here for the same reason. They love Jesus and they love Mary, and they want to witness something, or maybe they need a miracle, or maybe they need faith, and maybe they need strength. But I think we're all here for that purpose. So it's a good feeling. You don't feel alone here. You feel that everyone is here seeking something just like you are. And then at the same time, you also know that they're probably getting what they're seeking, which is just amazing. I ask for healing, of course, but I also say to God and to Mary, if it's your will. I've come to the acceptance now. When I got some news about 7 months ago, and my doctor told me that I probably have 6 months to a year. Well, it makes me sad to think of that. I'm also at peace with where I am right now. And I know and I believe that if I'm supposed to live, then I will. And that helps. You don't want to take anything in your life for granted. With this illness, it's very hard to live in the moment sometimes because you're so unsure of the future. Fear is crippling. And it shouldn't be, because I know where I'll be after this, and I know who I'll be with, and that's comforting. We're all scared a little bit of dying because we don't know. I think I do know. I wish that everyone could have that feeling to know, and that's what God has given me, and that's what I hope that each person would find.